When you come in on Monday and you're not feeling real well, does anyone ever say to you, sounds like someone has a case of the Mondays?
Shit, no, man. I believe you get your ass kicked saying something like that, man.
Welcome to the Forum Thread Podcast number 27. I am your host tonight, Dark One Dre, and here with me today is Wubwave.
Hello, it's about time I'm back. It's been
Yes, you
2.5 months.
Has it been that long?
Yes, it has.
Holy shit. Yeah, and what you were telling us telling me before that you were at ye old Barnes & Noble.
I am, so I'm going to be on my best behavior and not tell any dirty jokes or swear.
Trying to keep it PG.
Yeah, it's like when someone is on the phone talking to people and they just like are yelling into the phone or something. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to be yelling into my laptop computer.
I don't know, I think that would be pretty funny.
It'd probably be funny for like you and a couple people. It wouldn't be funny for these people around me.
Yeah, if you got thrown out of Barnes & Noble, that would be a little bit embarrassing.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, hopefully we can get you on a little bit more often. You kind of created the whole forum thread thing to begin with, and you're rarely with us for the podcast now. This is a treat. I just wish we had more people here.
Yeah, I like how it makes it sound like I did that on purpose, that I created this grand forum for people to share their views and ideas, when in actuality I was just bored and wanted to post pictures.
You know what? You don't ruin the experience for everybody else.
I mean,
just pretend like you did it on purpose, okay?
It was divine, intervention, and I heard the voice and it said, make this forum, and I was like, sure, voice.
Yeah, see? Divine intervention. You heard it here first. The reason why the forum thread exists is because some deity spoke to Wubwave and inspired him. So, what deity was this that inspired you?
I have no idea. I was going to be clever and try to come up with some random, Babylonian god, but I don't know any Babylonian gods. So, if you know a Babylonian god, you just fill it in.
No, I don't. I was going to go with, the Google gods myself, but...
Actually, I studied Google stock in a class a couple days ago, which I'm sure is fascinating to no one, but it's true.
No, yeah, it's not really fascinating. Sorry.
They sell a lot of stock and don't take a lot of debt. So.
Did anybody see that Google movie that was out? It wasn't really a Google movie. Was that about that guy that got a job working for Google? It got really horrible reviews.
The Interns or whatever.
Yeah, The Intern. Did you see that?
No, but I knew it has Asif Manvi from The Daily Show. I was considering seeing it just for him, but if we got terrible reviews, then I'll just won't.
That's a shame because I did see The Social Network, and that was pretty good.
Really?
Even though it did have Justin Timberlake in it. Yeah, it played out more like a courtroom drama than it did anything actually Facebook related.
Actually, you know what? A courtroom drama is pretty Facebook related if you think about it.
Yeah, I guess you do have a point there. But the acting was solid. It ended kind of abruptly. I wasn't a fan of how it ended. It just kept going and kept going and kept going and then stopped.
It ended with Facebook.
there was really no closure. No, with the whole courtroom drama bullshit that was going on with someone suing the other guy. I don't really remember how it went. It was a little while since I've seen it. I need to go see more movies. The last movie I saw in theaters was that one with the space station where all the rich people were on it. Elysium.
Yeah, I like that movie.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
It had that sort of gritty style that Neil Blomkamp always has, where everything looks like there's dirt on the lens, kind of. I don't know how to describe it. That's what it seems to me.
Yeah. And the whole movie, I was trying to figure out why everyone had one of those, regenerator things inside their homes. Why would every single person have one of these, cure-all devices?
Why do those people have anything? Why do you need 100...
I thought it was a plot hole, but then I was doing some research on problems that we would have living in space, and like it showed a particular screening for where it's constantly checking for cancer, and the astronauts in the International Space Station are constantly being bombarded by radiation, and so they have a much higher cancer risk. So people that live permanently in space or on the outer edge of our atmosphere, wherever particularly it's at, they would constantly be bombarded with solar, different sorts of radiation, solar radiation, and whatever else is out there. So they would need to have those regenerative devices in their homes to keep themselves from dying of cancer and to keep them looking good.
That makes sense. Yeah, that's the problem with any sort of science fiction, is that once you start looking into it, there's a lot of cancer that's going to be happening.
Yeah. But you wouldn't believe how much that bothered me throughout the whole movie, because they didn't explain why every single person had one of those things and why it was like tagged to their identity. But then, yeah, it suddenly all made sense, and that got me thinking, like, how are we going to like get to Mars, like they're hoping to in the next 10 to 20 years, without everybody getting horrible doses of radiation and all sorts of deformities and possibly dying of cancer before being able to reproduce on Mars. Like, how is that going to work?
Or having your bones and muscles atrophy over years in space. I mean, cyborgs are really the only ones that can go to space, if you think about it.
Well, the muscle atrophy isn't too bad if you're at least if you're, as long as you're not born in space, because you'll have all sorts of fucked up deformities if you are born in low gravity as your skeleton's developing. But like traveling from Earth to Mars, your muscles will kind of waste away, but it won't hurt your structure too much before you get to Mars and you actually have some gravity again. I don't think that's such a big deal there.
I remember reading a sci-fi story about people that were born in space and then coming to Earth. They had to wear Earth suits, as they said it, like a reverse of spacesuits, where basically it was like a powered exoskeleton to help them get around in the high gravity of Earth. It was interesting. It was like a short story, so it was one of those concept pieces that science fiction writers write up.
You know, when I was in grade school, I read a story similar to that, where there were people that lived on a space station. It was a family, and they were going to go visit Earth. And in preparation for visiting Earth, they had to go through all these rigorous exercises and practice. Like they had to strap themselves down with rubber bands and try and pick themselves up with various weights with the what's the right word? The elasticity, with the varying elasticities of rubber bands to simulate what gravity would be like. And even after all that work, when they finally did land on Earth, when they tried running, it's like they were so exhausted they could only run for a few seconds and then stop, gasping for breath, because they just were not used to gravity.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting thing for people to figure out. I mean, I'm sure they'll come up with something. Genetic engineering, who knows?
I'm hoping for artificial gravity like we have in science fiction.
Oh yeah. Just like, well, did you say artificial gravity? My internet is still pretty good, but occasionally I'll drop out. So if I ask you again about something, it's not because I didn't hear you. I mean, well, it is because I didn't hear you, but it's because my internet is jumping back and forth.
Stupid internet.
Well, you know what?
Yeah, so I got thinking about the whole idea of artificial gravity and how its creation is going to come about.
Yeah.
And I concluded that we are going to get artificial gravity because of beer.
Go on.
Okay, so there's this really cool video that I recommend everybody watch. It's called How Beer Saved the World.
Yeah.
And it pretty much shows how human history is directly tied to the discovery, consumption, and spread of our favorite alcoholic beverage. And it's how the Egyptians were paid in wages. They were paid in beer. It's what people that cannot drink clean water drink, because it's got a relatively low alcohol content, and it is drinkable even if the water is not.
Right.
It got rid of child labor because it helped usher in the automation process. Even before Henry Ford had the assembly line for vehicles, we had that type of automation for putting caps on beer bottles, creating beer bottles that way. So we've had all these leaps forward. Even germ theory was pioneered by beer. That's how we figured out what makes beer go bad, and that came about right before germ theory. And like, if these microbes can make beer go bad, could that also have something to do with the sickness in people? Could these microbes also make people go bad? And that's how germ theory came about. Real simplified version, that's how it came about. So I figured once we've got the International Space Station, we're going to have space tourism very soon. We're going to start mining meteors, and so we're going to have people out there, not just in the upper atmosphere, but in space, not just in the upper atmosphere of Earth. And they're going to want to end their hard-working day of mining meteorites with a cold beer. Problem is, beer in space has to be flat, because if you burp in space, you have a wet burp, and it comes out as a bubble.
Gross.
So you'll have a bubble of what you just burped come out of your mouth and just float around, and that's kind of gross.
That's quite gross.
So your beer will have to be flat. No one wants to drink flat beer. No, they just don't want to. So we're going to deal with flat beer for a while, but someone is going to be so fed up with drinking flat beer that they are going to accidentally create artificial gravity so that they can have a real beer in outer space.
That makes sense. I mean,
That's how it's going to happen.
Actually, if you spin stuff in space, you get that artificial gravity. Like, I was actually reading the Halo books again, and something that they did in like the first book that they really didn't talk about in the games or in the other books is the fact that human spaceships had to rotate when they weren't in combat, so that the crew could like use their muscles and have an artificial gravity. And they never really talked about that in the games or anything, but yeah, the ships rotate almost like the Halo rings or the Elysium space station or whatever, or Taurus ring or whatever. And so, I mean, just spin stuff and we got gravity. There you go.
The problem with the rotational gravity is that something like that would have to be built in space, and it's going to be so massive. There's the potential for all sorts of things going wrong. So I can see us experimenting with what do you call that? Centrifugal gravity.
Yeah.
But I see us trying to move beyond centrifugal gravity and actually coming up with some sort of like maybe experimenting with 0-point energy or something to give us something that just makes your body to want to adhere to a surface even if there is no other sort of gravitational pull. Maybe even a type of like pocket, what do you call it? Like a quantum bubble of some sort where you rewrite the rules inside this little bubble of information around you. I don't know. There's a lot that the realm of quantum mechanics opens up for us that is still completely unknown and untapped. So it's gonna be really neat.
Magnet boots. I'm calling it.
The idea that whatever you imagine could potentially be a reality, like I think that's supported in part of string theory. If you can dream it, it can exist. It just has to find the right parameters. Yeah. So really, anything that we need to do or would like to do is a possibility. I'm almost out of beer.
I already finished off my Izzy Sparkling pomegranate juice that I bought here at the Starbucks that was like $500. So.
That sounds good. I'm drinking Duck Rabbit.
Is that?
It's called the Duck Rabbit Milk Stout, the dark beer specialist.
Yeah.
It's pretty good.
Really?
Or was pretty good. I just drank the last swallow. I'm going to have to switch to wine now.
One of these days.
I bought this stuff yesterday. It's made in North Carolina. That's why I wanted to pick it up. I saw it at the food line. I'm like, oh, look at this stuff. And it's made in North Carolina. And I've never heard of milk stout before. So Let's try it.
Is milk stout like a type of beer, or is it just the name of the place?
I'm not entirely sure how to explain it. It said on the box, but I put the box out in the recycle bin. Wait, maybe Google can help us. Hold on a sec. I'm gonna look this up.
That's true. We literally have all the information in the world at our fingertips, and we're still talking
Milk
about it.
stout. Beer advocate. What? No, let's ask. What? No, fuck. What is milk stout beer? Sweet stout. Oh, stout style. It's a larger amount of residual dextrins and unfermented sugars that give the brew more body and a sweetness that counters the roasted character. Milk stouts are very similar to sweet stouts, but brewers add unfermented sugars, usually lactose, to the brew kettle to add body and some sweetness. And now that I'm thinking about it, that was actually a pretty sweet-tasting beer, even though it was full-bodied.
Huh.
Had a little bit of bitterness, but it definitely had like almost a. I wouldn't go so far as to say molasses, but it had a heavy sweetness, kind of like molasses, only a much more pleasant flavor.
While you're getting all boozed up, I am playing my newest purchase, Nintendo 3DS. So I apologize if I am not talking.
Have you seen the the 2DS?
Yes. It looks like. It looks
What
like.
the hell, Nintendo? Why?
It looks like a Game Boy Advanced if you like glued two of them together.
I know, it looks retarded. They could have at least kept the flip screen feature.
Yeah, I like that about the DS, is that you can just like flip the screen up and then put it in your pocket. I can't see putting that thing in my pocket.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see that one lasting very long. I'm really why? And the price isn't that much different from the 3DS, so you might as well just get the 3DS with its folding capabilities and turn off the 3D feature on it, and there you go. You have a slightly more expensive 2DS that can fold in half and carry around in your pocket.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I don't know. I guess I don't know. I wonder while I Google it, what are the benefits of the 2DS? It's bigger, so you don't have to worry about choking on it. I don't know.
It's less of a choking hazard for those with large mouths.
Yeah, I got it. I got my 3DS for like $120 at a pawn store, so it works quite well.
Do you use the 3D feature at all?
Yeah, I did. I got a Star Fox 3D, and I was playing that. It's like the Star Fox 64 remade for the 3DS, and looks kind of cool with 3D on it. Oh, the 2DS is cheaper, even when new. So that might be the benefit.
Really fond memories of Star Fox 64. Is that the one that they have remade for the 3DS?
Yeah. Yes. And it looks great.
You know, I never actually beat that game.
Really? And that was like the first. I think that was the first game I ever beat. Like, I played for like 3 months, trying to get through it, and then I finally beat like the easiest path because the fact that the paths branch out. You know, I beat like the one that's terrible and the easiest, but I was so proud of myself when I was younger.
Yeah, it was too hard for me.
It was a hard game. I mean, stuff flying at you and stuff. But it looks cool with. It's weird to see like something from your childhood that you know is terrible, like looks terrible, and then seeing it with like up-resed with like particle effects, and you're like, wow. If I showed this to my 10-year-old self.
And was your 10-year-old self impressed?
I don't know. I have to ask him. Is I also got like Pokemon Black, and the fact that it looks like it's not 3D, like the 3D function, but the next one will be. But it looks like so high res compared to like the original for the Game Boy, black and white. Technology, man.
Gotta love it.
Indeed.
I would marry technology if I could.
I have the perfect animated GIF, but I don't have any way of putting an animated GIF.
Wait, you called it a GIF, as in like the peanut butter?
Yeah, GIF, because I'm pretentious and I know how to pronounce it right.
I always call it a GIF, so it's not confused with the peanut butter GIF. Moms like you choose GIF.
You can spread GIF images on your toast too. I mean,
You know that I've concluded that tagline, "Moms like you choose GIF," is sexist against women.
is it though?
I think so, because it's implying that only the woman is going to go shopping, and that only the woman is going to make food for the child, and that only the woman is going to care enough to get this quality product. That so it's her job to pick out the food and feed her young. Whereas what's the husband doing? The husband's like making the money, I guess. Yeah, it's sexist.
It's a biological fact that only women choose peanut butter.
Only women choose peanut butter. I choose peanut butter. I'm not a woman.
You don't do it well then.
I do much better than most women. I get my peanut butter from Whole Foods, and it's like $7.50 for this jar. It's Maranatha, something like that. Maranatha, organic, no stir peanut butter, and it's got like nothing bad in it for you. It's organic dry roasted peanuts, organic palm oil, organic unrefined cane sugar, and sea salt. Like no preservatives, no high fructose corn syrups, no flavor enhancers. It's like this stuff is really good for you, and it's in a glass jar, which is easy to recycle or reuse, even if you don't want to recycle it. And even if you don't recycle it and just throw it away, it will break down naturally over time, unlike plastic.
I just buy the cheap stuff with no label on it at the back of the back of the shelf.
Now we're back to the whole let's give Wubwave cancer thing. Yep. You're gonna get cancer from your cheap peanut butter.
I would like to say that was a surprise that my peanut butter would be my downfall and the way that kills me, but I mean, in my heart, I kind of always knew that it would be peanut butter that finally did it.
That peanut butter had it out for you to begin with. The way it looked at you without a label.
It's like rereading a book, like a mystery book. You know, see the foreshadowing of the murderer, and you're just like, it was peanut butter the whole time. I knew it.
I've got it figured out. It was peanut butter in the study with the lead pipe.
It was peanut butter in my arteries with plaque.
Have you ever played Clue? That's what that.
Yeah, I played Clue.
I played it. I've played it a lot when I was a kid, and I recently played it. I say recently, but it was about a year and a half ago. Played it at a beach trip, and since then I've been wanting to find a version of it, like for the Xbox or something, to play online, and they only have it in the goddamned it's a pack of games, like Family Game Night 2, with a bunch of other shitty games that I don't want. Like, I wonder if Steam has it.
They might. Oh, sorry. I have a cough too, so it sounds extra awful.
Oh, and here, I thought the people in the background were the ones coughing.
No, it's me.
You're infecting everyone with your disease.
Yeah. Well, I'm already infecting them with my terrible commentary of me talking in public. Oh, that's me again. How do I save? Jesus.
I do not know.
I'm playing the new Pokemon game on my DS, and it's been, what, like 5 generations since the original? I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah, it's been a long time. So, who is the main character in the new Pokemon?
Some random kid, like every other one.
Just
but there's like a group
some crazy
now.
person.
Like it's like 2 other people that are like, all right, come with us, we'll go on an adventure. And you're like, I didn't realize that this suddenly became Dragon Age with Pokemons.
Well,
clue.
you know, Nintendo was like, hey, Pokemon's still kind of popular, and that Dragon Age game was pretty popular. Let's make Pokemon Dragon Age.
You laugh, but actually I was looking through DS games, and I found a title called Pokemon Conquest. And I was reading up on it, and it's basically you be a warlord that is gathering trainers to use in an army. It's the craziest idea I've ever heard, and I want it.
Well, that's better than what I was picturing in my mind. The when you first said that, I thought it was going to be like a description of a Pokemon porn, a Pokemon-themed porno.
That probably exists. Google. No, I'm kidding.
No,
I couldn't find Clue.
That's-
I couldn't find Clue on Steam, by the way.
There's no Clue on Steam. Oh, why? Why,
Came up
Steam
with-
gods, have you forsaken me?
It came up with Arkham Origins. I mean, that's close, right?
No.
No,
No,
right.
not quite.
How do I save? My battery's gonna die, and I'm gonna have to start all over. I don't know how to save. I don't know who this town is. I don't know where I am.
Oh my god. Let me help you out. Okay, I'm going to Google it for you.
How to save Pokemon White.
How to save no, God, I can't spell. Too many beers. Pokemon. Black?
White.
White.
I mean, they're the same generation. I think that the mechanics would be the same, but still.
How do you save the game on Pokemon White version? About. Press X, then touch save on the bottom screen.
Oh, wow, look at that. X. Who the hell came up with that?
You're welcome.
X. Yeah,
You can thank me later.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
The new Pokemon's coming out in October? I want to say October. X, Y. And it's going to be in 3D.
I can't really get excited about Pokemon. The only game I play Pokemon with is the Smash Brothers game, because Pikachu is the character I play as.
Huh.
Other than that, I'm not really a fan of the games. I'm not really a fan of the franchise.
Well, they were like my first strategy game, so... And as a strategy fan, they still hold a special place in my heart. But, I mean, it's basically searching through people's houses and stealing stuff and making animals fight, so...
I can respect that. The whole nostalgia trip.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good strategy game, but, I mean, you know...
I'm gonna have my own nostalgia trip tomorrow. I was at my sister and mom's house yesterday. I invited myself over for dinner. We had some drinks and whatnot. And my sister, she's like, you know, you still owe me a retro game night evening. We were supposed to play Donkey Kong Country Returns, and we never did. I'm like, shit, you're right. So sometime tomorrow, I'm gonna go back over to my sister's house, and we are gonna play Donkey Kong Country Returns, and it's gonna be epic.
Wow. I never played Donkey Kong. I played Star Fox and like Army Men on my N64 until I eventually upgraded to a PlayStation.
Yeah, that wouldn't be nostalgic for you, I guess. I played, Sonny and I got hooked on the Donkey Kong Country games for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Fantastic music. I think I've mentioned this in a couple of the podcasts, my irrational love and adornment of Donkey Kong Country games. But sometimes I will even look up on YouTube Donkey Kong Country soundtrack and find one of those videos that has every single song from the soundtrack in one continuous play. Just play that while I'm doing Minecraft or something like that.
Huh. Speaking of Minecraft,
nice.
I'm building a castle on your server, away from spawn.
Oh really? I hadn't realized you had been on my server recently.
Yeah, I was. I was all over the server.
Oh, sweet. Did you see where I put any of your other stuff?
No, I don't know where you put the Cloud Castle or my Netherrack building, but I'm sure they're somewhere safe. Or they're exploded like my sign was. One of the
Those
other.
are over towards where Tomash's
The
My
cube?
Little Pony monument was.
Yeah, I know where that was. Where'd you put the cube?
What? I can't hear you.
Oh, so I might have moved away from my mic. Where'd you put the cube then, if it was though?
I put the cube on a. I created a square island in the middle of a body of water and stuck the cube out there because it looked. It didn't look epic enough just where it was on a nondescript piece of land.
Yeah.
So I put it out in the water so it looks like it just kind of rises up out of the water to greet the skyline just by itself. I think it looks better that way.
That makes sense. I'm building a giant castle, not too far from where I built all my other stuff, but far enough away that you have to walk there or fly there. And it's gonna be.
Are you ever gonna finish that project where you're building the tower all the way to the top and all the way to the bottom with your name written on the side?
I'm gonna do that with the new castle. Yes, I've already built a tower that goes all the way up to the top. I just need to go all the way down to the bottom.
Yeah, I moved that.
Yeah, where'd you put that?
If you follow the path away from Draco Castle, you'll find it. It's actually right alongside there's only one path that kind of zigzags along that direction before it meets up with other stuff, but you walk right past it. It's been moved complete with the tower that goes all the way, with a section that goes all the way up to the top, including the hole that you blasted all the way down to the bedrock. Like you can stand on the edge and look down and see the void down there at the bottom.
Oh, the void. It goes all the way to the void.
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
And you put your name on the side in lava.
Yeah. Did you move the TNT?
I got rid of the TNT. Yeah.
That took like 3 hours to set up all that TNT.
Yeah, I turned the TNT into grass.
Well, that'll help.
I didn't want to remove it all. I was too lazy. I was trying to heal over all that space that you had exploded. So you had, it looked like there had been a war in that area. So I kind of buried everything underneath a bunch of dirt and rock and stuff like that. Try and make it look better. I've got to download one more mod for the server that will set a spawn point for everybody that comes into the world, and I'm going to create a welcome center with NPCs that will talk to the players and let them know where things are at.
Can you please add a teleportation mod or like a teleporter mod where I could just go places and not have to spend 15 minutes being lost trying to find Draco Castle or whatever else you put on there?
Yeah. There's already, I installed teleportation devices on the 3rd floor of Draco Castle, which is right near where the spawn point is. There is a teleporter that takes you to the city of Crosswaters, and inside the room you appear in, there's lots of other teleporters that are each labeled with locations around the world, so you can just step into those and go wherever you want to go.
Cool. Good.
That's one of the reasons why I wanted to make a welcome center with a designated location where people appear in the world, so that when they come there, they're like, oh, okay, this is this path going out front, this is the path going to the left, this is the path going to the right. Okay, if I want to go quickly find the teleporters, I just need to go straight ahead to the castle.
That makes sense. All right, I approve.
All right, now that I have your approval, I can move forward with my plans.
Well,
I've also
oh, sorry. I've coughed and interrupted you at the same time.
He's got the consumption. I've also installed a mod that lets you buy and sell things. It's got 2 features. One will let you, each player set up their own shop if they want to. And the ones I'm setting up are server shops, so they never run out of inventory. So if you want to buy something from the shop, just go up, and if you have enough money, you can say, okay, I want to buy X amount of these, and as long as you have the money, you can buy as many as you want.
Nice. I would like to put a team deathmatch mini game in there somewhere. I don't know how you would do it, but
what was that? You'd like
a team deathmatch, or like they have what they call Minecraft Hunger Games, which is like a team deathmatch sort of idea of having to find stuff and then fighting each other. Is entertaining to see and play, but I'd like to put it on your server at some point, just because of the fact that I can build cool stuff on your server.
Well, PvP is turned on this server, so if there were enough people to log in at the same time, there could be something like that. We do have 2 arenas. One's a Spleef arena. I'm not sure what the other arena is. I'm not the one who built the other arena, but it looks like it was designed for like team PvP.
What is Spleef anyway?
Spleef is a interesting little game where you have 2 teams equipped with shovels on either side. You have a layer of something like dirt put down over a massive pit.
Right.
And then you have a layer of sand put on top of that. Or sometimes you can just do with the dirt, but the dirt is monotonal, so I put a layer of dirt down and then I put a layer of sand on one side of the arena and gravel on the other half. So there's a color distinction between the 2 sides. And the goal is to dig the ground out from underneath the enemy. The last person who has not fallen into the pit below wins.
Huh. Also, I just looked at my Audacity. I really hope it picks up my voice. The waveforms aren't very big, but I can edit.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. I'm probably going to have to spend a lot of time editing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we should probably cut this one a little bit short so it's not just the 2 of us rambling on and to give you less stuff you've got to edit.
Yes, indeed. I love the fact I have my computer back. Huh?
We've gotten almost to 40 minutes, I think. It's been a pretty good podcast for just the 2 of us.
Yeah, I mean, well, it's like 37 minutes, but...
37, yeah, you round that up to 40. Close enough. It's whatever. We have nobody on Twitch to interact with today. It's a sad story. So, for those of you that are listening to this after the fact, after it's been released, we apologize for not actually having the Twitch feed live. Mr. Fusion, he wanted to actually have a personal night tonight and watch football. Ray is doing stuff with her family. I've not heard from Chaos. I imagine he's probably doing something with his family. So I'm just glad that I didn't have to do this all by my lonesome. Because I would have done it, damn it.
And to those of you who weren't here, fuck you.
Yes, all of you who are not present and who are not going to listen to this, bend over and fuck you. Good night, everybody.